your biggest enemy is you. It's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
I need you to confront you because you're the one holding you up. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not gonna do me like this no more. You're not gonna continue to sabotage me. You're not gonna keep procrastinating. You're not. You know you should be further in life, but you keep letting you slide. Hold you accountable and don't let you off the hook.
If for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, what would you be like? What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get.
I want you to challenge you the last quarter this year to do something you've never done before, to have something you've never had before. They're not going to give it to you, but if you're willing to get up every day and go take it, if you're willing to get up every day and work for it, if you're willing to get up every day and grind from sunup to sundown, you can have the life that other people dream of.
Yo, I Respectfully Disagree podcast, man, episode 108. Powerful. Needed. That message was needed. This episode is just going to be an appreciation post, a thankful for friends and family. Like, it's been a long week, man. It's funny how things work because I broke my number one rule. When I first started this podcast, it's been almost 2 years now. I said, don't check the numbers. I don't care about the numbers. If people listen, cool. If they don't, that's cool too. I never wanted to get infatuated with numbers because I'm a sore loser. Like I don't take rejection well. So it's one of them things, I guess out of fear, it was like, don't be that person that put your heart and soul into something. And then when you look at it, 5 people listen to it. Because then you're going to get discouraged and things like that. And it's like, just do it out of the passion of doing it. It's just something to do. It's entertainment and keep it moving. If something happens to where the podcast blows up, gets recognition, then kudos. But then again, if it doesn't, it is what it is. So I broke that rule. And the YouTube channel has been up now for a couple weeks. So I've been just trying to, put out episodes, push it online, go watch the videos, this and that. And initially, like my first couple of videos, to me, for my expectations, they were doing well, like 200 plus views. Like I said, it ain't like I'm some big, well-known podcast or nothing like that. It's just kind of within my own circle of friends and family or whatever. And, I was happy about that. I was like, cool, 200 something views, almost 300 views. Like, to me, that's dope. Pat yourself on the back. But then I made the mistake of every day waking up. How many people looked at it? Who watched it? And the last couple of videos was like 20, 30 people looked at it. So then I started getting upset. Like everything that I said I wasn't going to do, I ended up doing it. Now, granted, I know a lot of people are not Star Wars fans and things like that. So when I recorded that episode, that was more of a personal conversation I wanted to have. And that's why I only tagged a handful of people that I knew watched Star Wars and things like that, because I know that ain't everybody's cup of tea. So my thing was, hey, hashtag the hell out of it, because I know Star Wars is one of the biggest franchises and surely somebody's going to click on it because, it's Star Wars related. That didn't work either. So kept checking it. Nothing happening. So then we did the episode on Kevin Durant. I'm like, okay, I'm back to my roots now. I love talking about sports. The podcast was originated off of sports. Here we go. Nothing. I think I'm at like 34 views or 40 views now. And I was ready to give it all up. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was pissed. And I know it's like, it's as small as that is or silly as it sounds. That's why I said it's like, for me personally, like I don't handle rejection well. And I just like, man, fuck this podcast. Excuse my language. Just angry, ready to throw it all away, not realizing that we're 100+ episodes in. So many people have gave me encouraging words and said that they appreciated listening to the podcast and different topics and things like that. All of that just kind of went out the window based off of YouTube. So I'm sitting here the other night and I get a text message and it was like, congratulations. Like, for what? So I got to looking at it and it was a list of shows or whatever at the time. Like I said, this is just first glance. And I saw I respectfully disagree. I'm like, man, what is this? And come to find out, the I Respectfully Disagree podcast has been nominated for a Kentucky Urban Entertainment Award. And the category was webcast and online shows. Not sure how you become nominated or if that's just a word of mouth thing or whoever done it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I really needed that. I really needed that because I was beating myself up on the inside. And it was just like, for whatever reason, man, I was just like ready to give it all up, bro. And that was the motivation that I needed. Like, okay, this right here might be a sign that, hey, don't quit. It may not be doing what you wanted to do right now, or you set your expectations too high. And really, I don't want to say that because I had no expectations. And I guess I was just basing it off of the previous numbers. I'm like, okay, if 200 is the bar, I had 3, episodes that had like 200+ views. So if 200 is the bar, what can we do to get to 300, 400? I'm up to 80 subscribers right now. So it's like, okay, what can we do to get to 100? Like, that was my mindset. And so I'm just sitting here like, how can we get to that? And that is the motivation that I needed. So that's what this episode is about. Holding yourself accountable. Your biggest enemy is you. It's you. I'm looking into this webcam and it's like, I'm talking to myself. Like, you're your biggest enemy. And for starters, I want to thank Coach E, Charles, my brother Kevin. Who else has been on here? Mario, DJ, Avery, Dante, Chris, Daryl. Like, it's been so many people that's been a part of this. So this ain't just all my doing. So I want to thank you all for coming on to the show and making it entertaining and making people laugh and, you know what I'm saying, like providing substance. Can't forget my wife. Shout out Rachel. She was on the episode. Kelsey down in Atlanta. This is just off the top of my head. So, like I said, if you've been on here and I forgot your name, I apologize. It's just me, like I said, just appreciating everybody and holding my own self accountable. Because why stop? Why stop? And it's like, should you be further in life and this and that? And it's just listening to that clip. And I was mesmerized by it. And I want to play it one more time.
Your biggest enemy is you. It's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
I need you to confront you because you're the one holding you up. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not going to do me like this no more. You're not going to continue to sabotage me. You're not going to keep procrastinating. You're not. You know you should be further in life, but you keep letting you slide. Hold you accountable and don't let you off the hook.
If for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, what would you be like? What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get.
I want you to challenge you the last quarter of this year to do something you've never done before, to have something you've never had before. They're not going to give it to you, but if you're willing to get up every day and go take it, if you're willing to get up every day and work for it, if you're willing to get up every day and grind from sunup to sundown, you can have the life that other people dream of.
Drop the mic. Like, if that message helps anybody, bro, listen to it every day. Since I first heard that a couple of days ago, I kept listening to it. And it's like, not even only strictly for the podcast, bro. It's just like in life in general, man. Like, I've been having a lot of health complications, body aching and shit. And I'm like, I ain't nothing but 37, man. Like, get your life in order, bro. Like, hold yourself accountable. So just been trying to eat right, go work out. Hold yourself accountable. And tell yourself, like, man, what are your expectations? Like, what do you want out of life? It said, give yourself 6 months. And that's the thing. It's like, where do I want to take this podcast? And in all honesty, it's like, I feel uncomfortable constantly sharing and putting it out there and promoting it and this and that. And nah, you just got to go hard to the point to where if people get tired of seeing it, delete me, block it, whatever you got to do. Like, that was my problem. Thinking that, okay, you have enough friends and family, word of mouth is a great thing if you're a good person. Like, you do right by people, word of mouth, everybody's gonna be supportive. And sometimes I feel like that's far from the truth. And it's like, I had to learn that the hard way. And that's part of the reason why I was kind of down in the dumps in my feelings, because it's like, why should somebody share the same passion as me about something that's mine? And I had to think about that. And it's like, okay, I have the support the homies hashtag. I use it on a regular basis. And I genuinely want to see other people succeed. Like, I love seeing other people succeed, like their success stories. The share button is free, dog. Like, I've said that on this podcast several times, man. The share button is free, man. It don't cost nothing to show love. It's free. But I have to realize, man, everybody ain't cut from that cloth, bro. And that's where I got to get out of my feelings. And I'm flooding this damn podcast until I finally say, you know what, I'm done with it. I don't want to do it no more. I don't have the passion for it, because I can't expect somebody to ride hard for my podcast when currently at this time, none of us are getting anything out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get paid for this. And shout out to all the people that's been a part of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are dedicating time out of your day to do a solid for me. And that's why I wanted this podcast to feel like it's all of ours. Like, it ain't just mine or whatever. It's like, I want to use this opportunity to highlight others give other people a spotlight, give other people a voice to where it's like, hey, man, just, hey, something's bothering me, man. Do you mind if we turn the mic on? Ooh, let's hit the record button. Like, man, it's nothing. So that was always my mindset. It's like, it's just out of love. Like, let's just talk. Let's just do it. But then it's like, damn, like people ain't riding for you as hard as you thought they would. Granted, I do have several friends and family that's like, every time I post something, they share it, and kudos to y'all, man. I definitely appreciate it. But then it's like, sometimes you look up and it's like, damn, the one person or the handful of people that you really want to see something from, crickets. And it's like, damn, like, okay. And that's the tough pill to swallow. So that's why I was saying, like, I was just down. So to be nominated for an award, that's just the recognition. Like that, I don't care if I win or not, because that's where I have to do more networking, get my name out there more, get a face out there more, interact with the rest of the city. And that'll come over time. But it's just like, man, the timing on that was just amazing. So I'm gonna play another clip because it all goes together.
Your family and friends not even gonna be your first customers. Stop trying to cater and impress your family and your friends with your business. Strangers are your biggest supporters. They don't know you. All they know is you got good quality stuff and they won't buy. Your family just do too much. Your family won't know where you get it from, how you did it, bitch. I've been seeing since a child. You ain't never had interest in this. Like, it's just too much for them to give you they look that be discounted. Like, stop trying to impress your family and your friends with your business. They ain't even gonna be your first supporters. Okay? Impress your customers.
Stop trying to impress your friends and family. Fam. I'm having to understand that. Slowly but surely, I'm having to understand that. Like, you know, when we did episode 100, one of the questions from our partners was like, you know, what's been the challenge or what's been the hardest thing? And it's like I said, coming up with topics. I was just sitting down trying to come up with things that I thought people would like to hear, what I thought people would find entertaining. Like, that was my thought process. Like, oh, here, let's do this. Like, I think people would enjoy that. People would enjoy that. Where in the beginning, I was just recording off of whatever came to my head, what I wanted to talk about. And I felt like I kind of got lost from that. And it's like, I'm constantly trying to ask people what they want to talk about. And in reality, I was just setting my own self up because, like I said, people ain't going to go as hard as I want to go for something that's attached to my name. Like, they don't have no invested interest in this other than, hey, here, I'll come talk or whatever. It's like, they don't get nothing out of it. But at the end of the day, I'm putting all my eggs in this hat. Like, I don't care. And I hate to sound like that. Like, I apologize if it comes off as rude or whatever, but it's like, at this point, it's like, I can't care about what other people find entertaining, because you'll lose yourself. And I was on that path of losing myself. Like, damn all that. Quit trying to come up with topics where I feel like it's going to generate views or listens and things like that, man. Just do it. And the rest will take care of itself. So that's why I wanted to throw that out there, because it's like, stop trying to impress your friends and family. They're not even going to be your biggest supporters. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Like I said, I ain't going to turn a positive into a negative, but it's like, you know, even with merch, shares, things like that, it's like, you think I don't pay attention to who hits that button or who has encouraging words? Like, how hard is it to say, man, I'm proud of you? Dope episode, man. Keep going. Shout out to all the people that do that, though. Because even when I made that post the other day talking about how I was pissed off at not getting a lot of views. I had several people that reach out and was like, hey man, don't hang your head. You just gotta keep going. Like every topic ain't gonna be a hit. Like some topics people don't want to, they don't have no interest in it. So you just gotta keep moving. Don't let that steer you into the off the deep end, so to speak. But it's like that shows that people genuinely care or people are genuinely supportive. So I appreciate every last one of y'all that have reached out, had encouraging words, copped a hoodie, copped a shirt. I had to go drop off some shirts yesterday. And that's what I'm saying. Like the goal wasn't to make money. The goal was just to market the podcast, make people listen to it. Now that it's on YouTube, make people want to watch it. So I'm very thankful. I'm very supportive. And like I said, I don't hold no grudges. I mean, it may come off that way, but I don't hold any grudges. But I find a lot of truth in that. Your biggest supporters are going to come from strangers. Your biggest supporters are strangers. It ain't going to be your friends and family. So shout out to that clip. And then one last note that I want to talk about. Check this out.
We could be prosperous together.
It's so true.
Like honestly, like let's break this down for a second. Did you know that there's $1 million in every single person's family? Right now, you probably have 4 family members who are literally paying about mortgage or rent $1,500. Well, this is New York, so to $2,500. I live in $1 million home. Do you know if y'all just sacrifice just 4 years together, y'all put a deposit and just paid the mortgage together and put the rest of the money that y'all was paying regardless to the side, then you guys could refinance the property and then go buy something else. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's like we have to work in unity and togetherness. You know what I mean? When I first bought my home, we have a rule in the family. No one is allowed to buy something that all of us can't afford individually. Oh, so wow. Yeah, I was living in an apartment that my sister could afford until we all could afford $1 million property. I couldn't drive around in a Maserati until my entire family could afford one. And so that's important. Like we have to get together because we are.
Like, to me, when I hear that, that is an easy recipe for success. And I wanted to include that because, like I said, following that last clip talking about your friends and family are not going to be your biggest supporters. Why not, though? Why not? Like, what is it about us to where it's like you don't want to see each other win? Like it's a competition. Like I don't understand it. And that's why I'm saying, like, why can't we all be prosperous together? Like, it's enough money out here for everybody. You look at the money they giving out in the NBA now, man, it's like everybody is eating comfortably. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's a bad analogy using sports or whatever, but it's like even in the entertainment world, and that's what I kind of consider this podcast type thing to be. This is the entertainment world. Like, why can't we all be prosperous together? Like, how hard is it to be supportive? Hit the share button. It's like, we don't want to pour into each other. You don't want to see the next person win because now that makes you feel like, oh, he's doing better than me or she's doing better than me. And it's like, dog, we got to get out of that mind frame. For real. It's like, man, you know, podcasting is a huge thing now. So if somebody reaches out to me and is like, hey, bro, what did you do? I don't have no problem telling them. Hell, it's happened on more than one occasion. Several people's like, man, you know, how did you get started? What equipment you got to have, blah, blah, blah. What do you use? This is what I use here. And when you put your podcast out, guess what? I'm going to share that shit just like I share mine. Like, why is it difficult for people to just feel genuinely happy for others? And I know that kind of is different from what the clip was actually talking about. The clip was about generational wealth. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm correlating the two because it's like we all can eat, or we all have family members where, oh, they balling or they got money. They just like, nah, they made smart decisions with what it is that they got going on. And guess what? You can too if we all sit down together and plan it out. It's been a lot of people I've tried to have conversations like that with, like, hey, bro, if you just do this, and do that, then this will happen. But it's like people don't want to invest in each other. They don't want to pour positivity into each other. And it's like, you'd rather sit around and gossip and spread rumors. Like, I'm not with that, man. You can have it. Like, you calling to tell me about somebody else and what they done and all this and that, get off my line. I don't care. If it doesn't impact me directly, I do not care. Like, save that gossip and shit for somebody else. Like, bro, we too old for that. The world does not stop spinning. And shit, if it ain't helping me put food on the table or pay some of these damn bills, like, I don't care. We'll pick up the phone and call and tell negative news about each other, but we won't pick up the phone and say, hey, man, guess what just happened? I just invested in this. And if you put this up and you put that up, it's like it becomes a competition, bro. Like, we can all eat together. But that's a whole nother conversation, man. Because it's like if you look at different cultures, it's like they follow that. We all gonna put in, we all gonna chip in, and then once this is paid off, go help the next person. Look it up if you don't believe me. It's a lot of cultures out there that's like, hey, let's all move into one house. We all pitch in, we all pay, and then once this one is paid off, move to the next family member. Help them get their situations in order. And that's how you create generational wealth. Because once it's paid off, bro, guess what? Every dollar that you make following that, put in your pocket. Go invest in something else. But we don't want to see each other win, man. We don't want to see each other win. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation by myself. Because this is self-reflection, man. Like, can't wait for nobody else, man. We only got a small time on this earth as it is. And if I sit around waiting for somebody else, then all I'm doing is wasting my time. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. We all can be prosperous together. And speaking of which, shout out Mario. I've mentioned his name so many times on this podcast, bro. And it's like, I genuinely want to send kudos because you and your wife did the video last night with the merch. My podcast made me do this podcast. Look at her. My therapist made me do this podcast. I've shouted you out several times on the podcast, bro. And from me to you, like, I'm super, super proud, man. Definitely had to put that bid in for the shirt because you said it was a limited quantity. And now you see what I was talking about, bro. It's like I was just putting shirts out there just to try to grow the podcast. And before I knew it, man, I was just getting flooded with messages. And I'm like, I don't have enough shirts. I don't have enough shirts, like, bro. So I'm scrambling trying to put all that together. But at the end of the day, it's like, again, it's encouraging. Like, it's motivating to know that, like, damn, like, so many people are behind me. So kudos to you, bro. Wish you nothing but success with your podcast, your family, and everything else, man. It's like, dog, you got a dope ass podcast. Like, you put a lot of positive energy and food for thought into the air. And I really enjoyed listening to it because you walk away with something positive, like life learned lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like, you takeaways. Like, I can turn that off and be like, damn, how can I apply what I just listened to into my actual life, real life? So definitely keep up the great work, man. It's super, super, super duper dope. And sky's the limit, man. Shout out to my cousin Grip. He launched his podcast. We outside for real, for real. You got a lot of things going on, cuz, man, and that's why I want you on here to talk about that. Like I said, this mic is to highlight everybody. Talk about your podcast, talk about your photography, the dogs, talk about everything, man. That's what this is for. And whoever is listening to this that may not know who you are, it's like, put a face with it. That's my thing, man. Support the homies. That's dope. That's super dope. I'm gonna encourage anybody that's doing anything positive. That's what we're here for, man. Put positive energy out into the world. So before I get off here, man, got one more clip that I wanted to play. And like I said, this is just positivity, motivational thoughts. And these are some of the things that I listen to. Like, I have it saved in my phone. Like, I'm just trying to change that mindset, get out of that down in the dumps, man.
Nobody's going to believe in you. Nobody's going to come and celebrate with you until you've already done it. The work is going to come before the belief, which means you're going to have to work for a long fucking time by yourself with no applause, with no awards, with nobody telling you good job. And then once you start to build something and people start to see the momentum and they start to see the result and you start doing some things, then you're going to get a little belief.
Period. Just gotta, don't worry about the applause. Don't worry about the shares. Don't worry about the views. Just keep going. And I'm telling you, man, it's crazy how all of this worked. Like, none of this was planned. And after all of that happened the other night with the nominations, like, I sat down and put this episode into motion. Like, I got to get back to that. Because in the beginning, I was just trying to make sure everything was perfect. Making notes. This is what this topic's going to be about. Make sure you say this and make sure you say that. And then it got to the point to where I was just out here freestyling everything. Like, granted, I mean, of course, it's not a bunch of nonsense, but it's like, with no organization, no guidance, no nothing like that, how you expect to get further? How do you expect to improve if you just out here doing it spontaneously? Like, nah. So if I'm gonna put my blood, sweat, and tears into this podcast, it starts here. It starts with me. So that's my goal. The clip said, give yourself 6 months. It's actually July. Let's see what happens for the remainder of the year, man. Like, I'm trying to get my subscribers up, trying to get the views up, trying to get the listens up on the streams and all of that, man. So any encouraging words, positive feedback, whatever. Appreciate y'all. And we are out.
Toasted, no competition. Anisha toasted. I feel so high, I feel so live. My body's intertwined. Anisha toasted. I feel so live, and I know why. That I can't deny. Anisha toasted. Goody, fine wine, fools, malt liquor. Wish me I'm high class.